30 Grandchildren Attempt Part 12. Welcome, Carrots here. This episode is going to be a summary of what they've been up to. Javon in his pyjamas and Gwen up doing some gardening, which is what they tend to do most of the time. We're trying to achieve Gerry's lifetime wish of perfect garden. They still haven't really met each other, although I think they've spoken a couple of times. The idea is to get them married and having babies soon. When some of the other of Javon's siblings are at home, they can do the gardening as well, although Javon and Gwen are still both learning the gardening skill, so it doesn't hurt them to keep doing it for now. The main reason for having Gwen in the household at the moment is for her to get some skills, because she's a brand new sim that I made especially for Javon, and also for her and Javon to get to know each other before they get married and move out. The next few episodes, including this episode, will be focused mainly on getting multiple siblings aged up to young adult, and then they will quickly all marry, move out and have lots of babies, so that once the babies start they should get the 30 grandchildren very quickly. And no, those trees aren't really poking up through the floor, it just looks like there's a ceiling there. There's actually a whole floor missing immediately above to make room for the trees. I've been joined by Alecia. Now, Alecia has completed her lifetime wish and she's ready to age up to young adult. I don't have a husband lined up for her yet. Might have to make one especially for her at some point. Not in this episode. I made Gwen especially for Javon. They share 3 traits. It's the night of the full moon and the zombies are out. This is Edith. She lives with Tony McLean, the father of the teens, and Javon, who's now a young adult. She's part of his household, and you've met her earlier. She is a potential mother for some of the grandchildren. And of course, one of the teens is out here. This is Lynette. She is looking for small animals and collecting a few seeds while she's at it. She's trying to complete her lifetime wish of zoologist. 3 of them were zoologists. Javon was the first to complete his lifetime wish. Alecia has now completed hers, and the 3rd zoologist is Lynette, who is currently at the greenhouse trying to catch the last few minor pets that she needs to catch to complete her lifetime wish. Next afternoon after school, Demetria and Kendall went fishing down at the beach. Now, Kendall was standing fishing the jumping fish that were close to that little jetty, and there was another group of jumping fish just on this side of the fish there where Kendall was fishing, and I told Demetria to fish there. You can see the fish jumping on the right there. That's where I asked Demetria to fish. The reason I wanted her to fish in that particular bunch of jumping fish was because the variety that she's after were not in the group of fish that Kendall was fishing in, and Demetria is almost at the point of getting her lifetime wish, which is to have 13 different varieties of perfect fish in fish bowls, presenting the perfect private aquarium. And she ended up all the way over here. And see that wrecked jetty over there on the right hand side? Her float that's where the fish are that she is actually fishing for, are way over there on the other side of that wrecked jetty. She was standing on the beach near the jetty when I told her to go fishing in that circle in the centre of the screen, and she ran along the beach away from the fish, jumped in the boat, went around the beach and ended up on the little sandbar, and there's the fish she's supposed to be catching. You can see her float in the middle of them. I hope she gets some fish she hasn't already caught and that they're perfect. That's what she's after. So we leave the fishing sims to their fishing, and we're back at the house where Gwen and Javon are doing their eternal gardening. I won't make them garden anymore once they've got to level 10, and they're getting close to level 10. The thing is that they're really after is getting Gerry's lifetime wish. Gerri hasn't got time to do much gardening. She's busy in the video game career, and Alecia is going to age up shortly. We'll have a party for her in this episode. Now, this is interesting. That's Ted Fields standing in amongst all those sons, and Ted is a sim from my big game where he's been happily married for years and has had 4 children. However, in this game he's just a brand new sim, has been plopped down, he's unattached, and Lynette has bumped into him by accident at the greenhouse while she's been looking for small animals to catch to get her lifetime wish. And she's only got a couple more that she's got to catch, and she'll age up to young adult and she'll need a husband. So I thought he's got a proven record in another game as being an excellent husband and father. so maybe he will be good for her, since the game seems to have introduced them to each other, with a little bit of help from me. I didn't tell Ted to turn up, but I did tell her to talk to him. I'm hoping that works out. At least now we can invite him over to the house at some point if I want to capture him and add him to the household. But that won't happen until after Gwen and Javon have moved out, and possibly some of the others. I think we've got enough Sims in that household already. I won't allow any of the grandchildren to be born in that house. And I've got a house built that I can put down multiple copies of for each of the couples. It's all set up for babies, so they've got cots and beds. It'll cost them a lot of simoleons to buy the house, so I might have to do something about that just to get them into these houses that I've made. Not that that really matters. I could have put them into empty little houses with nothing, no furniture, and they still could have had the babies left lying on the floor, but I wouldn't have liked that. They seem to be getting on quite well. We'll leave them there chatting. Lynette's going to have to keep catching those little animals though. She's got to get her lifetime wish before she'll age up to young adult. So it looks like Demetria's given up fishing. She's come to the greenhouse. There's a bar inside there, and I've got a mod that allows them to have professional bar actions on all of the bars in the game. So she was able to go and buy food at the bar. That's Gerri, and she's carrying a pile of dirty laundry, and she's heading off somewhere with it. She was supposed to be cleaning the house, but she's run off with the dirty laundry in her hand. I think it's almost winter in the game now. Oh, this was funny. Gerri was cleaning up the lot. Now, I've seen this happen before to one of my Sims just before Island to Paradise was released. There were no boats in it yet, but they were getting ready for the boats. My Sim previously was running on water. Now, what Gerri does is she ran from the house with laundry. She's got laundry in her hand, and she's got into this boat, and she just goes straight out as far as she can go into the middle of the ocean. And then she jumps out of the boat, swims around for a bit, gets back in the boat still with the laundry in her hand, and back to the house to complete doing the laundry. Totally bizarre behaviour. The boat ride was a really long boat ride, so we didn't watch it all the way through. Here she is getting back into the boat, and now the boat is taking her home. The boat's going along beside the cliffs, and then she'll get back to the little beach where she'll hop out, run up to the road and jump into the limousine. And here she goes, driving home. Here she is at home, and she's still got her bag of laundry. She runs straight into the washing machine, which hasn't rendered properly yet, and she puts it into the machine. Add the soap powder and job done. And there was a rainbow. And Gwen is still tending the garden, but now she's in her exercise outfit, and that little gnome is still lying under the trees. After a while, Javon came down to give her a hand, and he's still working on his gardening skill too. Meanwhile, the raccoon is trotting around the town and was seen most recently passing through the Stone's Throw greenhouse lot. There's a snake. I'll have to send Lynette over here to catch it. She needs more little animals to catch. And of course, Lynette is at the greenhouse. She's collecting seeds and catching small pets, and there it is. She's managed to get her lifetime wish by catching 20 minor pets. But she'll still go for that snake, and I think there's a hedgehog there as well. So now Lynette is able to age up. Oh no, it's not a hedgehog, it's a rat or a guinea pig or something. So that's one more of the household ready to age up to young adult. And there is a few of them that will be aging up before they can start their lifetime wish, because they need to be young adults to even begin working towards their lifetime wish. After spending the whole day in the garden harvesting and tending the garden, Gwen has come to the greenhouse to consign some of the produce that she's harvested. Javon will consign some as well. Unfortunately, they don't make a lot of money straight away because there's not enough Sims living in this world. I'm probably going to have to add a few more to let them earn money from their sale of their harvestables. Usually, the harvestables that they consign at these humble harvest stands sell fairly quickly, with huge amounts of income for the Sims who consign them. But that hasn't happened. part in this game, and the only thing I can put it down to is the lack of townies. And she'll repeat this at all 4 of the Humble Harvest stands before heading off home for a nice sleep before party. After all, there are some Sims in the household that still got to age up this episode. Looks like somebody's sleeping in the park. That's Yolanda. Wonder why she's sleeping here instead of back at Tony McLean's place. I think she lives at Tony's place. There's a household of about 4 of them, or 5 of them, I think. There's plenty of birds spawning in the greenhouse lot, but they're all just allowing my Sims to watch them. Gwen's just picking up the last few seeds before she goes home. We don't often see Gerri chatting with one of her offspring, but here she is having quite an animated chat with Joni. They're in the room near the party room. This is the room I set up for them to have as a nectary. It's got a nectar making machine in it, as well as that chair that Gerri's going to sit on while she reads something on her tablet. Upstairs, Constance and Kobe are working on their painting skills. Constance wants to be a Renaissance Sim, which means she needs to get to level 10 in 3 different skills. She's at level 9 in fishing, and I think she's around level 4 or 5 in painting. So if she keeps working at her painting, she'll just have to find a 3rd skill to work on. Kobe, he wants the private museum, and he needs to go back to China or France or Egypt to get more relics to put in his museum till he's got 20,000 simoleons worth. So he's just painting for fun. And Lynette's just joined them, and she's just completed her lifetime wish, so she's painting just for fun as well. Here we are back at the greenhouse where Javon has arrived, and he is going to consign some of his harvestables. But we won't watch him doing it because we saw Gwen consigning harvestables earlier, and you know how that's done now. Takes a while. There's a few townies there today. I'm including the Sims that I've added to the game as townies. I don't think that this world came with any Sims in it. So the Sims are either generated by the game for some purpose, or they're Sims that I've added from my library, like Yolanda there. She's one of my Sims that I've added. But the Sim in the long white pants, I don't think she's one of mine, so the game might have added her. There's Javon consigning his produce. Back at home, Alecia and Gerry are working in the garden. It's only right that Gerry should work in it occasionally. After all, the initial purpose for the garden was to get Gerry her lifetime wish, which is perfect garden. But the sale of the produce ought to help them pay for the houses that they're going to have to buy, as each of them moves out to start their own family in order to get the 30 grandchildren that this game is all about. Found Gwen upstairs playing computer games with Wilfred. I thought I'd just include this little interlude. She's still in her sleep, where I think he might be as well. It's got to be early in the morning. Poor Constance. Javon caught her setting a trap, and he was very angry with her. He's in his pyjamas as well. Must be very early in the morning. But he's got to do some cooking, because today is a big day. There's going to be birthday parties, and Javon has to cook. He's going to make all sorts of goodies to have so they can all get something to eat when the candles get blown out of the cake. There's the trap in the window by the look of it. This house, from the outside, with all those booby traps that the teens have set, it's just like a beacon. I haven't seen Megan in this story of today, but there she is, cleaning up the kitchen. Here we are. See, I added extra tables. I think I've just about got this room set up now. There is Alecia. She is aging up to young adult. She's completed her lifetime wish of zoologist. It's very noisy with all these siblings there and their mother all cheering her on. They're nicely arranged around the cake, aren't they, in a big semicircle. That's Gwen in the middle there, blowing the horn now. So there's 3 young adults in the household at the moment, and there's going to be 4 any second now, as Alecia ages up to young adult. It's not easy to get everybody in the picture. There she goes. And she gets family oriented as well. I thought that'd be hopeful. It'd be useful for them to be family oriented, because they've all got to have a few children. I don't want to have to age all 15 of them up so they can have 2 each. The first few that age up are going to have 5 at least each, and that should get the 30 grandchildren fairly quickly, I hope. And once the badge is awarded, that'll be the end. unless somebody in the comments says that they'd like to see it continue. But it'll become very much in the background if I do continue it onwards, because I have other series that I really need to work on more diligently than I have been. It was funny when I put all those dishes of food on that spare table. As soon as we put them there, everybody ran downstairs and were either eating or trying to put them away back upstairs in the fridge. It was extremely difficult to get them left on the table there. But the buffet has got food this time, and Megan's decided it's time to do some exercise instead of eating cake. Maybe she's trying to lose weight or avoid gaining weight or something. It's starting to disperse already. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but there's a second cake put out. At least the hungry ones can take things from that spare table. This is only halfway through the birthday celebrations. I think it's Robbie who's going to age up next. He's the one with the genie in the lamp. He found the lamp. I've decided that I'm going to try to get Robbie and his genie to be paired up and have children together. But he needs to age up before he gets his lifetime wish, because his lifetime wish is to be a creature robot crossbreeder, and he gets that by joining the science career, and he can't join the science career as a teen, so he has to age up to young adult before he gets his lifetime wish. There he is. He's gone over to his cake. Are they all going to go and celebrate with him? It's very noisy birthdays at this house. I like that hair that Alicia's been given. I'm not sure if it's from the store or if it's custom content. I think I'll leave that on her. So Robbie's blowing out his candles. Robbie ended up with some long hair. I think I'll leave that on him too. I've just got to remember it's Robbie. I think he had long hair to start with, and I had to change him because he's the one I thought was a girl when I first saw him, and then later on I realised it was actually a boy. I have to change his hair or his clothes. That doesn't go well together with the hair sticking through the neckline of his top. Pleased to see him using the other table. I was hoping somebody would use the other table, because there's only room for 8 at a table. I think they've had enough cake. I'm not going to worry if some of them miss out that didn't want to miss out. Oh, at least Megan's taken some cake this time. She didn't take cake, she went and did exercise when Alecia blew her cake out, her candles out. Cleaning up time. That dishwasher that I put in over there keeps vanishing. I close without saving sometimes. I know I do that. I'll have to put that dishwasher in and save straight away to make sure it doesn't vanish again. So nice party pictures. Doesn't look like anyone's interested in dancing. Got a big enough dance floor there. Sharonda had to come across to this table to eat her cake. Nowhere to sit at the other table. Gwen's cleaning up. There's a few leftovers there on the table where all of Javon's cooking was set out. The parties are over and so is the video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it, and I look forward to you coming back for the next episode when we'll see some of them meeting their future spouses for the first time and some more of them aging up. So thank you for watching. Bye bye for now and happy simming.